But how long can you keep experimenting? Like I call it experimenting in my sessions. But how long?
What do you do, Gautam?
So clearly not something which I should do as per my parents. I'm a chartered accountant, and I've tried almost everything except the core chartered accountancy profile. So I worked in a few companies. I've tried public speaking. I did something of my own by the name Maskov. But right now I'm working with a trainer who is quite famous in India. So just trying this field in hand, but again, not related to what I should do as per my parents. And that's was one of my questions which I had to ask. So
Which is that should you listen to
that,
your parents?
no, not exactly, but like, how do you measure or how do you see? Like, everyone says you should think about long term and just see, if you're doing this thing right now, तो ये आगे जाके ठीक हो जाएगी. But again, like I'm 24 right now, and many people say that 24 is still fine, bro. You can just experiment, maybe just see maybe other fields, but don't leave the core field which you have, like chartered accountancy. बहुत कम लोग कर पाते हैं. That just gives me FOMO. Like if I have to take a new step, I'm like, you cracked a course which 2% people do, bro. Don't disvalue it. Just do something around it. And when I get back, then I'm lost. Like, where do I go? So that's something I'm not able to balance actually. Something I wanted to ask. How do you see
So,
that? How do you do that?
so my advice here is very simple, Gautam, and it's something that I've learned the hard way, which is just because you have been doing something in life doesn't mean you continue doing it when you know that it's not working out for you. And you will know this better than anyone else because what I'm talking about is sunk cost. And sunk cost never comes into a consideration when you're shutting down any factory. It's sunk, it's gone. And time is the biggest sunk cost of life. Whatever time you've spent in doing anything at all, you're not going to get it back. So it should never play a role in deciding whether you continue to do the same thing or not when you know that it's not working out for you. I think, or at least I hear the emotion from you, and I now recall the conversation we were having when we met in our office. You did it. You're clearly smart and brilliant because you cracked a very tough examination that most people can't. But that's it. It's done. It's almost like you did it. You went all the way and you realized it's not for you. And you're 24, which makes you immensely young. You have the world outside in front of you. You are capable and you're actually smart enough to pick up anything you want, whether it's public speaking, whether it's training, whether it's mass comm, whether it's anything else. And the only thing that you should be doing in your 20s is just spending as much time as you can in finding out what are you truly good at that makes you happy. And that is a blessing to have. Because if you're able to find that by the time you turn 30, your 30s will be all about doing that one thing and doing it so fucking good that by the time you're 40, you just retire. Or by the time you're 40, you're so good with it that it doesn't feel like work anymore. Like it's become just natural for you. But this intersection of what you're good at and what makes you happy is a really hard intersection to find. Like CA is maybe something that you're good at. It comes naturally to you. Maybe you're blessed with it. Maybe it's because of family. Maybe because of your IQ, whatever the case may be. But it doesn't make you happy. So that's not good enough. It's simply not good, at least not for me. It's not good enough. You've got to find the intersection of what you're good at and what makes you happy. And these two things are really hard to find in just one single thing. So that's the only thing that I would say. And if you can spend any amount of time in just finding that out, that will be the best gift you'll give yourself.
But how long can you keep experimenting? Like I call it experimenting in my sessions. But how long?
To be honest, it's forever. Like, genuinely ask yourself what stops you from doing that. Genuinely ask yourself what stops you from doing that. And I can tell you the number one answer of what stops people from experimenting all their life is what the world tells them they should not be doing. That's it. Like, dunya kya kahegi, log kya kahenge. That's it. You and I are not going to die of poverty or hunger. You and I are not going to die because we'll be walking naked on some random street begging for food. We are very privileged. We are fucking very, very lucky. So the goal in our life is not to survive. The goal in our life is to get to where we think we should be, where we deserve to be. And that is not going to be served on a platter. It will be intense experimentation. Some people get lucky and have it early on. Some people just settle into their fate and then have a miserable life all their life and keep complaining and regretting. And some people keep experimenting. And you'll find that maybe they don't crack it in the way that most people or success, what is defined in the world today, does, but they're innately happy. Like they're at peace. They love the fact that they can do whatever they want to do. They have the destiny that they would call in their own hands. They have a partner that supports them. They have a family that loves them. It's everything orchestrated around how they want to live life. And that is precious. And honestly, it's not for everyone. But if you really care about it, it can be for you, but it will take a different mindset. And the answer to your question is forever, man. I'm 40, I'm still experimenting. Do I know what I should be doing in life now? The answer is no, I really don't. But I love how my life is set up, and it may seem like glamorous from a distance, but the truth is that I am, yeah, no, it is. It's like, oh, awesome, man, you have these followers and you have this and that. But the truth is that I am just as human as you are, and I'm just as fucked as you are, and I'm just as mentally and emotionally fragile as all of us are. And what keeps me going on is just the courage that I know that I can do anything that I set my mind to. The question is, what do I set my mind to? And I would love the joy of discovering that, whatever is it, whether it's creating a public persona like I've done, and this just happened in the last 4 years, or whether I start up, which has taken 8 years, or whether I become an investor, which is something else, or whether I become a public speaker and a full-time motivational speaker, or I just chill and do nothing in life anymore. All of these are the joys of discovering what truly you're good at and what makes you happy. And I would say I'll keep experimenting on that for as long as I would want to.
Well, that gives a lot of strength. And I have you on my wall at the center, if you can see.
Oh, wow.
The picture.
Yes, I see myself.
Yeah. These are the pictures that are more special for me. So this
Wow.
picture is one of it.
Wonderful, man. Thank you so much. That means a lot that I am on someone's wall, and yeah, I'm having a really good evening today. All the best, Gautam.
Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that whenever we put up a new video, you're aware of it.